Questions for Coach Painter, whoever's ready.
Matt,
Yes, sir.
was there ever a time in the game that you wanted to take Carson Edwards out and stay right beside you and talk to him about what was going on?
Yeah, well, he obviously never really got into a rhythm. I think you have to give Indiana credit. They did a very good job defending him. But no, he's our guy. You know, it's one of those things where you know, we take him out for about 2-3 minutes in each half, and you know, he's got to let the game come to him. You know, he's gotten those reps before, but he just starts the games, you know, wanting to kill him, you know, right away. So then he gets into a little bit of a rut. And you know, with all great scores, I think they go through periods like this. You see it a lot of times in baseball. Every baseball player in Major League Baseball goes into a slump. Sometime it might last for a month, it might last for a week, it might last for 2 weeks, it lasts more than a month. They're having a good contract. But in a situation like this, you just do. You get into these situations where you press, and then when you have, you know, really good defensive players guarding you and a good team defense, Arch does a great job, you know, guarding guys that understand it. And it took some things away from us, and we just didn't let some action come to us. But we also had some shots that didn't go down too. But no, he's our guy. I think that's the one thing about, you know, being a good player, being an established player. You're always going to come back to him, and that should make you feel good as a player.
If I remember right, when Carson got free for the attempted dunk and missed, they scored right after that. And if I remember correctly, you called timeout right after that. Is that right? And do you remember?
I think so. I don't remember.
You don't remember what
sequence?
Were you just
I'm
trying
not good at remembering sequences until I watch it again.
When you saw him get that frustrated,
Right. You know, he needs to see the ball go in. When he sees the ball go in, he can multiply, you know, his positive plays. He is king. But when he doesn't, he gets down, he gets frustrated. And so he made a great drive on the play. He just had to finish it. I don't think it was a time and the place to try to dunk the basketball. Even though it gets to his left hand, he jumps off his right foot better. So we just had to try to regroup. You know, winning this game, we're very fortunate. I thought we played hard. I thought our defense was really good. But we struggled offensively. We struggled to rebound at times. But I don't think anybody walked out of here who doesn't think our team, you know, has some toughness to them. So we were able to hang in there. But I also thought Indiana showed a lot of toughness and a lot of grit. But both teams obviously struggled offensively.
Now, how did you discover Matt Harms?
I actually recruited a guy from his school, Sunrise Christian, that eliminated us. And one of my assistants, Jack Owens, had seen him in Vegas a couple of times playing. And he was very skinny. He's about 30 pounds lighter than he is right now. And just, you know, talked to those guys and went out there and watched him. And, you know, he knew more about Purdue than I did. You know, Matt was a fan of ours and watched us with the big guys that we had. And, we knew it would take a little bit of time, but it was a perfect setup because he came at the break. So he went second semester going against Isaac and Biggie every single day. And it was the best medicine for him. And you know, he's a hard-working kid. He's really gotten better. Today was a tough day for him. He makes a big play there at the end. Today was a tough day for him. When you get the wrath of those fans, and you're able to hang in there and play and do a couple things productive there at the end, that really helped us.
Matt, how did you see his foul and then his technical foul that gave Indiana?
That was at the other end. I just was asking questions. I didn't see it. I know they did. They got tangled up. And they said they called it double technical. So then they waved off the technical for Davis because they said he didn't do anything and Matt did it all. But I didn't see that part of it. Or obviously I can't hear what they're saying to me.
Now, what did you think of the chant?
Huh?
What did you think of the chant?
What chant?
The Harms. Could you hear that chant?
I could not.
You didn't hear the actual chant? Because he was clearly upset about it when he was in it.
Was he?
Yeah.
You know, it's part of it. You know, it's part of it. It's competitive sports. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know, it bothers you if you lose a game. You know, we do a lot of good things sometimes when you lose a game. And, you know, we're very fortunate. We bounce a three in there at the end. Matt gets that, you know, that tip in at the end. It wasn't pretty, but no, I didn't.
Matt, did you just call the simple ball screen up top of Carson, you know, that timeout before he gave you the lead, or was there just could be something more to that?
It just was going to depend on if they took it away. So if they took it away, we were going to go to something else. But if they weren't, we were going to put that. We didn't dive early enough before. They really bottled him out. They were in a bad possession before that. So we were going to try to get out of it and try to give him some room.
But you wanted the ball in his hands.
Yes.
Matt,
Do you
how do
want
you,
a more even
somewhat more even ratio of shots between Carson and Ryan? Or are they so different players that that's a different
Yeah,
thing?
in a perfect world, yeah, you do. Carson is a different playmaking, player than he is. He handles some things by pressing a little bit more instead of like letting something come to you, getting a layup, getting a couple free throws, feeling good about you. He tries to take the world on. Most good scorers are that way. Eric Gordon, Antoine Moore, guys that have really played well in this league, that are talented. That's how they handle some things, and you can't always handle it that way. So, it's a good learning lesson. But you want balance as a coach, but you also got to have a gauge on your guys.
Matt, how do you see this Big Ten race coming down with you, Michigan, Michigan State, and Iowa right there at the top fighting?
Well, we have another road game at Nebraska on Saturday, and so we're just trying to focus on Nebraska. And obviously, we don't play either one of those teams, so you just focus on the teams that you're actually playing. That's kind of coaches speak, but it's true. You don't sit there and watch Michigan or Michigan State or any other team. You go watch tape on Nebraska. You just try to keep your focus on that.
How does it impact Harm's development? The fact that he started later than most American kids, but he has that European background, playing Barcelona and whatnot.
You have growth. Sometimes you'll have a kid that you coach that's done everything in his power since he was a little kid to get to this spot. Sometimes guys that start a little bit later have a little bit more growth. But he's also unique. He's 7'3" and he's agile and he can move. And I think that's more of an upside for him is his ability to move at 7'3". And he's just a sophomore. He's got a lot of years still left in college.
Matt, can you just speak how far this team has come in these end-of-game situations since December? This is a few games now that have come down to the last minute.
Well, I think we've been able to struggle on the offensive end in certain games and defensively, being able to grind it out. And obviously 2 months ago, we couldn't have done it. Our defense wasn't as good 2 months ago as it is right now. It's not that we've arrived on the defensive end. We're not as good as the team as Michigan, per se. On defense, Michigan is such a good defensive team. But in the right situation, in the right scheme sometimes, against certain teams, we've had a lot of success. And, we'd like to do better, from an offensive standpoint. The ability to kind of find a way. We found a way today. And part of finding a way is being fortunate and getting some breaks. We got breaks today. There's no doubt about it. Sure, we made a couple plays, but we got breaks. This game could have went the other way. He could have made the three and we would have beat us. We had a big breakdown. We obviously didn't want the ball in Romeo Langford's hands. We didn't want the other two guards to have the basketball that are three-point shooters. We wanted somebody else, but we didn't pick up Justin Smith somehow. Then we leave, Morgan to go to Justin Smith. So we're very fortunate, but we. Since that time in December, we've done a good job of getting in those games and being able to find a way and make plays or make free throws.
Do you see a direct correlation between that early schedule and what is happening now?
It definitely helps you. The thing that I said earlier was we had real problems that we knew about. You know what I mean? And you guys follow, so you understand what I'm saying. But your problems don't go away. You can do a better job, but they don't go away. Like what happened today and us shooting the ball, not shooting well. Like we've made threes. We've made most threes in the league, but we've also had ruts in games where we take poor shots and we don't make good decisions. We had 23 turnovers in the last game. So it never goes away. You just got to keep working on those things. You guys keep putting in your time. But being able to play a tough schedule, I think, brings those things out early. And it can bury you too. Like it can continue to happen. You can keep losing games. Obviously, we didn't. But, we knew we had to get better defensively. We knew we had to get tougher. We knew we had to, execute, do a better job of getting shots, for our guys that can shoot.
That Romeo didn't take a shot in the second half. What does that say about the level of defense your team can play?
Well, Joe Eastern's a really good defensive player, and he's got good size. But we had a couple of different people on him also that came in. I give him credit. He threw up at halftime and goes out there and they're picking to shoot the technicals and he makes it. That's what I'm saying. When I throw up, I'm not making technical free throws. I need 48 hours. He went out there and made those. So you got to give him credit. He's came in here in the bubble. And he's a great kid. And he's a great player. And it's hard. It's hard. It's not easy. Like, people look at this like it's easy. You're ranked the 5th best player in the country, but these are 21, 22-year-olds, but he's a really good player. But give credit to our guys. Our guys, they have a lot of respect for him. They know how talented he is, and they know how dangerous he is. And so, but also give credit for Romeo to come out. A lot of guys would have packed it in when he didn't. Came out there and competed and played the second half.
What differences did you see in the way Indiana played tonight compared to when you saw them in January?
I thought our game was a little bit of fool's gold at Purdue. What I mean by that is Romeo Langford gets in foul trouble and they miss a bunch of free throws. So sometimes the actual play is really not that bad. So they score 55 points, but they missed just, one guy's like 0 for 4, one guy's 1 for 5. I'm paraphrasing a little bit here on that, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. And so like their play wasn't that bad. They just didn't reward themselves at the free throw line. And then one of their best players, gets in foul trouble. So if he doesn't get in foul trouble and they make the free throws, I think it's a close game. And so did they do a good job on us defensively? Yes, but I didn't think they did that bad of a job before. We were able to hit our dive guys more in that game. Matt Harm's got a couple of dives for dunks, and we were at the rim a little bit more. I thought they did a better job, and they were going to make some people make some shots. I thought Carson had a good stretch there in the first half after he missed his first 4 or 5 shots, where he found some people for shots. A couple of them were assists. One was to Sasha, one was to Aaron Wheeler, but he also had, I think, one to Grady also. But he also had 3 or 4 where he found guys and then we didn't make those shots. So they really were trying to protect the rim, bottle him up, and not allow that. So I thought that was a good, kind of change of pace, from the first game.
Man, you guys have won 5 straight down inside you. How big is that? You, but more just more for the fan base.
Yeah. Well, you look at it from your players' perspective. We know how difficult it is to come here and to play and to be able to compete and get a win. And so this is a good string for us, but things are cyclical. It can turn on you real quick. So, you have to be prepared to compete and recruit and keep putting yourself in good positions and keep getting guys that work for you.
Matt, you kind of shuffling your lineup around a lot, and you there for a while. Arms wasn't starting, now he's starting. What is it? Just the team, the matchups? What goes into all that with him?
Travion Williams, he had strep throat. He didn't practice the 2 days before Penn State, so I didn't start him there, and I just put him in just to get him in case we needed him in the second half, and we didn't. And then we just kind of stayed with that. I really don't have a good answer for it. I just kind of stayed with it, trying to get Travion, going a little bit. Matt likes coming off the bench better, but he had a really good game against Penn State and started. And so, but obviously, did some good things for us tonight. So I don't think it's that big a deal.
Thank you, guys. All right, thanks.
Mike.